Okay, hi guys, it's me, Mr. Aircraft here. And today I'm gonna be telling you guys about Qantas Flight 32. So the plane was an Airbus A380. I did my best trying to make one out of plus toys, small plus pieces. So this is the best that I could do. So Qantas Flight 32 was supposed to be a 22-hour flight. Why so long, you ask? Because they were flying from Singapore to Australia, and they were gonna do this like loop that took around 7 hours. So yeah, the plane was an Airbus A380, and they were parked at a gate. So then after all the passengers were boarding, there were like 460 passengers. So this happened on November 4th, 2010, which was 10 years ago. So, the plane was nicknamed Nancy Bird Walton, which was the name of a an Australian aviator. So, they named, and this was the first A380 that Qantas ever got. So, they're gonna at least try to fly it to, Australia. So then they started their takeoff roll, and then the plane took off. I did my best to try to build the landing gears. So then the landing gear retracted, like on all flights. The landing gear retracted. So then the plane was just casually flying through the air after its long takeoff run. But then, around 5 minutes later, the engine number 2 suddenly burst into flames and completely exploded. And then the passengers felt as if the plane was plunging out of the sky. And there was also a big fuel leak coming out of the wing, which was really dangerous because then the fuel could explode, and then the plane could explode into pieces in midair. But luckily that never happened. So while they were flying, the pilots had to shut down the number 2 engine because it was becoming dangerously hot, and the explosion was at temperatures at around like 1,000 degrees Celsius. That's a lot. So the pilots shut the engine down before any further trouble could happen. The passengers were all really terrified. So then they decided they were gonna make a turn and fly back to Singapore. But the pilots had no idea about what happened on the ground when the engine broke down. So because of the explosion, a lot of debris from the engine fell down, and they were flying over Indonesia. So then the debris just fell through a school, and the debris was only centimeters from a 5-year-old's desk, and it was really hot, so they couldn't touch it. So It was really dangerous, and then people started tweeting that Qantas plane has crashed, but they were sadly mistaken. The plane was still in the air, so the pilots decided to land. Here, let me just attach the landing gear. This could be a little hard to do since right now I only have one hand. I'm using my other hand to record. Wish I could have someone who could record for me, and I can do all this. Maybe someone to hold the planes and I record. But anyway, so yeah, now the plane was approaching the runway, and if they missed the runway, then then there was no turning back. They had to land, and if they missed the runway, it was not going to be good. So the plane started descending towards the runway. Landing was a little bumpy, but luckily they made it. And they had to get all the passengers off the plane. So yeah, and once they got all the passengers off the plane, they went to the terminal, and then on CNN they said that Qantas was grounding their entire fleet of A380s. Then they found out that the cause of the engine explosion was because of there was this small pipe that transferred fuel from the wings into the engines, but sadly that pipe was not manufactured correctly. So then the pipe was super thin. So then it exploded, spilling. Wait, no, it didn't explode. The pipe broke, spilling fuel into the hottest part of the engine, which caused it to explode at 1,000 degrees Celsius. So yeah, that was my video. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you in my future videos. Bye, guys.